What if we told you that an invisible enemy attacked a city, and no one even realized it until it was too late? This is the story of April 26, 1986. The day when science, secrecy, and human error collided. When the reactor No. 4 exploded at the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant, the world witnessed not just a disaster, but a warning. A warning we're still trying to understand. Hello, I'm ChronoDrop, and I am on a mission to uncover the most chilling moments in history that have shaped our world. And one of those moments, without a doubt, is the Chernobyl disaster. Now, as someone who's spent countless hours poring over declassified documents, interviewing survivors, and even visiting the exclusion zone myself, I think I'm qualified to take you on this journey. So, buckle up as we dive into the heart of one of the most catastrophic nuclear accidents in history. You know, when I first started researching Chernobyl, the one thing that always struck me was how ordinary the day started. April 26, 1986. Just another Saturday in the Soviet Union. The sun rose over a young, vibrant city built to house the workers of the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Children played in the streets, couples strolled in the park, and the night shift at the plant prepared for what they thought would be a routine safety test. But as the clock ticked towards 1:23 a.m., no one could have imagined the horror that was about to unfold. In the control room of reactor No. 4, a team of engineers began a safety test that would push the reactor to its limits. It was supposed to simulate a power outage to see how the reactor would cope. Instead, it became a deadly game of nuclear roulette. Now, let me paint you a picture of what happened next. The operators, following a flawed procedure, began to lower the reactor's power output, but something went wrong. The power dropped too low, too fast. In a panic, they tried to raise it again, but the RBMK reactor, with its inherent design flaws, had other ideas. It was like trying to stop a runaway train with a feather. Suddenly, there was a sound, not a bang, not an explosion, but a thud, a deep, ominous thud that shook the entire building. The operators looked at each other in confusion, and then, before anyone could react, a second explosion ripped through the reactor core, blowing the 1,000-ton concrete lid clean off. In that moment, the invisible enemy was unleashed. A plume of radioactive material shot into the night sky, carrying with it particles that would contaminate vast swathes of Europe. But in Pripyat, just 3 kilometers away, life continued as normal. People slept peacefully in their beds, blissfully unaware of the danger that now surrounded them. As dawn broke, the true extent of the disaster began to emerge. Firefighters, first on the scene, battled the blaze without proper protection. They didn't know they were fighting not just fire, but radiation itself. Many would pay the ultimate price for their bravery. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn. The Soviet government, in its paranoid secrecy, tried to cover up the disaster. Can you believe it? One of the worst nuclear accidents in history, and they thought they could just sweep it under the rug. It wasn't until radiation alarms went off at a nuclear plant in Sweden, over 1,000 kilometers away, that the world began to realize something was terribly wrong. It took 36 hours, a day and a half, before the authorities finally ordered the evacuation of Pripyat. For a day and a half, people went about their lives, breathing in radioactive particles, letting their children play in contaminated playgrounds. The evacuation, when it came, was chaos. People were told to pack for 3 days. Many never returned. The long-term effects of the disaster were, and continued to be, staggering. The radioactive fallout contaminated vast areas of Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia. Wildlife in the region was severely affected, with reports of mutations and declining populations. But it's the human cost that's truly heartbreaking. Thousands of people developed cancers and other illnesses linked to radiation exposure. The psychological trauma of displacement and fear has affected generations. But Chernobyl is more than just a disaster. It's a powerful symbol, a cautionary tale that resonates to this day. It shows us the devastating consequences of technological hubris, of putting political ideology before safety, of the dangers of secrecy in the face of catastrophe. The event reshaped global nuclear energy policy. Countries around the world reassessed their nuclear programs. Safety protocols were tightened. Emergency response plans were overhauled. The RBMK reactor design, the type used at Chernobyl, was modified in other Soviet plants and eventually phased out. But perhaps the most important lesson of Chernobyl is one we're still grappling with today: the importance of transparency and international cooperation in the face of global threats. The Soviet Union's Initial attempts to cover up the disaster not only put more lives at risk, but also eroded trust in nuclear energy and government institutions. Today, the Chernobyl exclusion zone stands as a haunting reminder of what happened that fateful night. Nature has reclaimed much of the area, with wildlife thriving in the absence of human activity. But the ruins of Pripyat, the abandoned Ferris wheel that never got to carry laughing children, the decaying buildings slowly being swallowed by vegetation, they all tell a story of lives interrupted, of a future that never came to be. As I walked through the empty streets of Pripyat during my visit, I couldn't help but feel a profound sense of loss. The echoes of a vibrant community, silenced in an instant, the dreams and aspirations of thousands, scattered to the wind like the radioactive particles that forced them from their homes. But there's hope too. The new safe confinement, a massive steel arch built to contain the remains of the exploded reactor, stands as a testament to human ingenuity and determination. It's a symbol of our commitment to right the wrongs of the past and protect future generations. The story of Chernobyl is far from over. Scientists continue to study the long-term effects of the disaster on human health and the environment. The exclusion zone has become an unlikely tourist destination, attracting those seeking to understand this pivotal moment in history. And the debate over nuclear energy continues, with Chernobyl serving as both a warning and a point of reference. As we look to the future, to a world grappling with climate change and energy needs, the lessons of Chernobyl are more relevant than ever. It reminds us of the awesome power of the technologies we wield and the responsibility that comes with it. It teaches us the importance of safety, transparency, and international cooperation in the face of global challenges. So, the next time you hear about nuclear energy or see a power plant on the horizon, remember Chernobyl. Remember the brave firefighters who gave their lives, the families forced from their homes, the invisible enemy that changed the course of history. Remember that in our quest for progress, we must never forget the cost of our mistakes. That's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Chernobyl disaster. Have you ever visited the exclusion zone? Or maybe you have a personal connection to the event. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most significant disasters, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't want to miss out on more explorations of pivotal moments that shaped our world. A huge thank you to my patrons for making this video possible. If you'd like to support the channel and help me continue uncovering these crucial stories, you can do so at the link in the description. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, history isn't just in the past, it's all around us. Goodbye.